We begin with Campaign 2020. Massachusetts is one of 14 states where voters are casting ballots today, taking part in the Super Tuesday presidential primary. Good evening. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Beth Ward. Chris is off. All eyes are on the Democratic nominating contest to see who Bay State voters believe can go toe-to-toe with President Trump in November. We have team coverage of today's races. Sarah Gonelli is keeping tabs on Senator Elizabeth Warren's campaign, but we begin with Audrey Russo, who joins us live from a polling location in Springfield with more. Audrey?
Hey, Beth, we're at the Boys and Girls Club here in Springfield, and we did a quick tally on all of the ballot machines here, and around 650 people have cast a vote today here at this polling location. Now, because of Massachusetts' role in the nationwide Super Tuesday primary, remember 114 delegates up for grabs here today, many of the candidates established a local presence here in Western Massachusetts. Now, this is a look at former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign location up in Hampshire County. Polls nationally show Biden, who had a campaign surge after his South Carolina primary win, could be poised to earn the plurality of the 1,300 Super Tuesday delegates up for grabs. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders established a Chicopee and Holyoke office. Sanders is currently leading in Massachusetts primary polls over Senator Elizabeth Warren. The volunteers I spoke with from each local campaign say it's been a multi-state effort leading all the way up until today, Super Tuesday.
I actually worked on the campaign in New Hampshire as a deputy field organizer, so it was kind of logical to transfer over into Massachusetts and work towards an effort which I really believe in.
I've had young people, I've had people from New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York coming to my house to eat and get treats and get a map and go out and canvass. It's fabulous.
Well, I think it's really important that people start to realize that we can't have a divided country, and we need to find a candidate who Republicans can vote for and Democrats can vote for and feel okay.
That last volunteer you heard from is supporting former New York City Mayor and billionaire Mike Bloomberg, who's also established a local office. Bloomberg indicated today he's seeking to earn as many delegates as possible. Rather than focusing on winning individual states, he implied that a brokered convention could be his easiest path to the White House. Now, again, polls close here in Massachusetts at 8 o'clock, so you still got 2 hours to cast your ballot. Coming up tonight on Western Mass News, we're going to be following a Democratic watch party as those votes come in and as all of the efforts from those campaigns are tabulated into hard numbers and hard results. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you. We continue our coverage of Super Tuesday with Western Mass News reporter Sarah Gonelli. Sarah is in Northampton, where there's been a big push for Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Sarah, how's it looking where you are?
Beth, there's been a steady stream of people here heading in to vote, many for the senator. I spoke to several people out here tonight who say they're voting for Warren because of how hard she worked as a senator here in Massachusetts. Warren spent time in her hometown of Cambridge earlier today, telling voters why she should be their choice for the Democratic nominee. Now, Western Mass News caught up with some people campaigning for Warren right here in Western Mass in Northampton. They say it's great to get out and talk to the community.
We're trying to reach as many people as possible to really make sure that we can make a connection with people and talk to them about why we support Elizabeth, and also just to make sure that they know where to go to vote, and to make sure that they know how they're going to get there, and have access to that as well.
Campaigners tell Western Mass News they found some people who are still undecided about who they should vote for. They say it was a great opportunity to talk to them about the Massachusetts Center. Now, Warren is already on her way, or she's actually in Michigan right now, since she has a campaign set to go. Live in Northampton tonight, Sarah Gonelli, Western Mass News.
Sarah, thank you. Staying in Northampton now, voters heading to the polls today to weigh in on a proposed override. A vote in favor of a Prop 2.5 would allow the city to raise property taxes above the approved 2.5% threshold. Western Mass News spoke with two Northampton natives who are split on the override.
I know they've faced a lot of cuts and especially challenges with staffing in the past, and so I really want to make sure that the quality of the schools is maintained.
I sort of feel like if I have to live within a budget, I feel like the city should be living within a budget. And secondly, I have a great concern of how few, as a native, of how few natives are actually able to stay in the city.
If passed, half the money would go towards a projected budget shortfall. The other half would be used to plug holes in future city budgets. For up-to-the-minute Super Tuesday coverage, make sure you have our free Western Mass News app. Just visit your app store, or you can text Western Mass News. That's all one word to 23765.
First half of the day was dry. Now we're seeing some moderate to light showers move through the area, especially through Franklin County right now. Starting to see the light showers almost wind down, the first round of showers winding down into this evening. So areas like Turner's Falls into Irving, into Greenfield, as you go into Buckland, Shelburne, Ashfield, Conway, Sunderland, and Deerfield. You're seeing those moderate to even heavy showers in some places. But this is just round one. We do have a brief break over the next 3 or so hours, and then another round of stronger storms potentially swinging through right now. Central PA will move into the Pioneer Valley, so we could be talking about a couple of rounds of thunderstorms too. Right now we're soggy on our Springfield Skycam. You see the brake lights on the viaduct as you make the turn around the Hall of Fame. Our highs today were in the low 60s. It was a mild day. In fact, almost record-breaking. Our high 66, our record high was 66, and we made a run for it. We just didn't squeak out enough sunshine at the end of the day in order to make that run. But Hartford actually did break a record, so they hit 63, setting a new record for Hartford. A few showers, then a break, and then a second round moving through. We do have a lot to talk about in the extended forecast, including that weekend system that we had been eyeing up. We have an update on that in just a few minutes. Beth?
Jacob, thank you. Massachusetts has begun its information campaign regarding the coronavirus. This is a look at a sign along I-91 up and down the Pioneer Valley. Now, the sign encourages drivers to get the necessary information on the virus at mass.gov. New information coming out of UMass Amherst as new precautions are announced affecting students coming back from study abroad programs now canceled due to the coronavirus. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us in studio with the latest. Leon, what can you tell us?
Beth, UMass announced today they are requiring those traveling back from overseas to self-quarantine for 14 days. That's before coming back to campus. UMass says they are doing this for safety. New coronavirus precautions announced at UMass Amherst on Tuesday. The school says it is now requiring any student, faculty, or staff member returning from a country designated by the CDC at alert level 3 to self-quarantine for 14 days and remain symptom-free before returning to campus. Those current level 3 countries are China, South Korea, Italy, and Iran. The self-quarantine guidelines for study abroad students coming back this week are: they must stay at home for 14 days, they can go outside but must avoid using public transportation and going to public places like stores, theaters, and classrooms. They must maintain a 6-foot distance from other people inside the home, and they must monitor their health and report any symptoms to their healthcare provider. UMass students on campus Tuesday sharing their reactions to what the school is doing.
I think it's pretty smart. I mean, considering how it's like growing so fast and spreading so wide.
It's definitely something you don't want to mess around with, especially there's already a lot of cases in the U.S. So, I mean, I think it's a smart deal for them to do that.
And UMass Amherst officials want to stress there are no cases of coronavirus among students, faculty, or staff on campus or abroad. We will continue to follow developments and pass along new information as we get it both on air and online. In studio, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Leon, thank you. And for more information on the coronavirus emergency as it develops, log on to our free Western Mass News app.